अस्सलाम वालेकुम मुश्ताक अली ब्रेक પછી તમારી ખિદમતમાં હાજર છે અને જેમ મેં પહેલાં કીધું કે હવે હું મારા ઇંગ્લિશ અને ઉર્દુ ઓડિયન્સની તરફ જઈશ કે ભાઈ આઈ એમ પ્લીઝ ટુ ઇન્વાઇટ two solicitors in my program today and they are Zulfikar Bhai and Naushad Ramji. Their firm is called Victory Max. They have their head office in Leicester and they have another office in London Hounslow. Their firm basically, which is called Victory Max Solicitors, they deal in immigration. They also deal in legal aid for asylum seekers. They deal in domestic violence, human trafficking, family law, employment law, wills and probate, and first and foremost they deal in wills and lasting power of attorney, which is our topic today. तो जिन भाइयों को अंग्रेज़ी समझने में दिक्कत है, आज हमारा प्रोग्राम न सिर्फ गुजराती में है बट उर्दू में और इंग्लिश में भी है। आज मैंने इनवाइट किया है हमारे दो बहुत अच्छे दोस्तों को, नौशाद भाई और जुल्फ़िकार भाई, जो विक्ट्री मैक्स सॉलिसिटर्स की फर्म लेस्टर में है। इनकी हेड ऑफिस और लंदन में भी ऑफिस है और ये स्पेशलाइज़ करते हैं इमिग्रेशन में, लीगल एड फॉर असाइलम सीकर्स में, डोमेस्टिक वायलेंस में, ह्यूमन ट्रैफिकिंग में, फैमिली लॉ में, एम्प्लॉयमेंट लॉ में, विल्स एंड प्रोबेट में। और आज हम जो है डिस्कस करने वाले हैं लास्टिंग पावर ऑफ अटॉर्नी और विल्स पर हम डिस्कस करेंगे आज। और आपको इस सिलसिले में कोई भी सलाह मशवरा करना हो तो आप मेरे गेस्ट से कर सकते हैं इधर इस प्रोग्राम में, और बाद में जो है वो इनका फ़ोन नंबर इंशाल्लाह मैं आपको दे दूंगा, तो आप इनको कांटेक्ट डायरेक्टली भी कर सकते हैं लेस्टर में या लंदन ऑफिस में। तो अब जो है before wasting any more time, I welcome you both in my program. And as I said earlier, because this coronavirus is such a deadly virus, it is important for us to talk on wills and lasting power of attorney, because I mean, to be very straightforward and blunt, because this virus is taking lots of lives away. And there is a hadith of Prophet that, you know, if anybody has got a bequest, meaning that if anybody has some estate, that that person, whether it's a young person or elderly person, has to make a will, and I'll come back to that in detail. So as I say, let's start with Naushad Bhai. Naushad Bhai, can you tell me, you know, why is it necessary for a person to make a will according to the English law and according to the Islamic law?
Assalamu alaikum, first of all.
Wa alaikum salam.
Thank you so much for inviting me to your program today, and I'm delighted to be here.
Thank you.
It is very important for an individual to make a will,
Okay.
because in terms of English law, if you don't make a will and if you have assets which are more than £15,000, then an application for probate needs to be made to the probate court.
Sorry, Naushad Bhai, excellent start. For my viewers, Gujarati viewers and Urdu viewers, would you please explain what a probate is?
Probate is a process when one has died,
Okay.
and you have a will, or
Yeah.
even if you don't have a will,
Yeah.
then you have to make an application for a document called
Right.
grant of probate
Okay,
or grant of representation,
you're right.
and that is the application is made to what's called a probate court,
Okay,
and there is a process involved. Application forms need to be completed, fees to be paid.
Okay.
And usually it's the executor who would do that, or the executors who've been appointed in the will.
So in simple words, probate is a process to take a consent or permission from the official probate court or any other court which is involved for the executor, meaning the person who is taking care of the state of a deceased person, i.e. person who's died, to carry on his affairs and distribute the will.
Yes, it's legal authority.
Yeah.
The document, the grant of representation or probate is the legal authority for the executor to distribute the estate.
Okay. If you give me 1 second, I'll just transfer that. Would you translate that, Zulfikar Bhai, in Urdu?
In Urdu? Yeah, okay, I'll try to. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
अभी जैसे नौशाद भाई ने बताया कि जब किसी की मौत हो जाती है, कोई फौत हो जाता है, और अगर जो उसकी एस्टेट, उसकी जायदाद 15,000 पाउंड से ज़्यादा की अगर जो हुई, तब ज़रूरी है कि प्रोबेट कोर्ट से उसकी इजाज़त ली जाए कि उसकी जो आखिरी वसीयत थी उसके मुताबिक उसकी जो जायदाद है उसके हिस्से किए जाए, जिन जिनको उनको देना हो उनको फराहम किया जाए और डिस्ट्रीब्यूट किया जाए, और बिना उसके अगर जो किसी की मौत हो जाती है, सो इन दैट केस जैसे इन्होंने बताया इंटेस्टेसी रूल अप्लाई होते हैं और वो डिफ़िकल्ट हो जाते हैं.
तो ये इंटेस्टेसी रूल्स नौशाद भाई, what I mean, say for example if a person hasn't got a will and his assets are more than 15,000 pounds, because nowadays in this country everybody has some assets or the other.
Absolutely.
So how does it affect him if he does not have a will?
Well, if a person dies without leaving a will, then the intestacy rules will apply, because a person has died what's called intestate, died without leaving a will.
So intestate, in other words, for my viewers, I'm trying to simplify this as much as possible. Intestacy rules mean a person dies without making a will. If he makes a will, then his estate, his assets or whatever he leaves behind will be distributed according to his wishes, correct?
Yes, absolutely.
If he does not make a will, then intestacy rules will apply according to the law of land. You cannot do anything about it.
True.
Then it will be done and over with, because, forgive me the language I am using, you'll be under the grave. You cannot come out and change the rules. Intestacy rules will apply if you do not have a will. And intestacy rules, Naushad Bhai will explain what they are and how does it affect.
Well, English law relies on intestacy rules if there is no will. So if somebody has died, not left a will, then the estate needs to be distributed somehow.
Correct.
So English law has got rules which are called the intestacy rules.
Right.
And under the intestacy rules there is a prescribed way of distributing the assets. So if a person is married and they have a wife and children, then the intestacy rules provide that the first £250,000 of the estate would go to the wife. If the estate is less than 250,000, then the spouse or the civil partner will inherit.
Right.
If the estate is worth more than £250,000, then the first £250,000 will go to the wife or the civil partner, or if it's the wife who's died, then it'll go to the husband. And the rest of it, above the £250,000, is then divided between the spouse or the civil partner and the children.
Right. Okay. So basically it's done according to the law of the land, which is the English law. You don't have any say in it. Any survivor cannot go to perhaps can go to the court and contest it?
There is a provision in law where if somebody who's a dependent has not inherited and they were dependent upon the deceased, and I mean financially dependent upon
Yeah.
the deceased,
Yeah.
then they can make an application to the court under the Inheritance Act of 1975
Yeah.
for a share of the estate and
Yeah.
for provision.
Yeah.
But usually you find that if it's an intestacy, that then it'll not be possible for a dependent to make an application. It is possible, but it would be difficult in my view.
Yeah. So, as Naushad Bhai said, it is so important to make a will. If you want your estate to be distributed according to your will, based on your faith, meaning based on Sharia, then it is so imperative to make a will. विल बनाना जो है बहुत ज़रूरी है. अगर आप चाहते हैं कि आपकी स्टेट, यानी आप फौत हो जाएं, आप अल्लाह मियाँ को प्यारे हो जाएं, तो स्टेट का मतलब ये होता है कि आपका जो घर है, आपका बैंक अकाउंट है, आपका अगर कोई दूसरा घर है जो आपने किराए पर दिया हुआ है, या आपके पास ज्वेलरी है, कैश है, इसको, इन सब चीज़ों को जो आप छोड़ के जाते हैं, आपकी मिल्कियत जो है, जिसको उर्दू में कहते हैं मिल्कियत, वो सब जो है आपके एग्जीक्यूटर, जिसको आप अपॉइंट करते हैं विल में. और नौशाद भाई अभी फिर रोशनी डालेंगे उस पर कि एग्जीक्यूटर कौन होते हैं, क्यों होते हैं. विल में जो है ये एग्जीक्यूटर्स अपॉइंट करने पड़ते हैं 2, ताकि अगर आप फौत हो जाए तो उसके बाद वो आपकी स्टेट को, आपकी जो जायदाद है, जिसको जायदाद भी कहते हैं, मिल्कियत भी कहते हैं उर्दू में, उन सब का आपके जाने के बाद उसको वो आपकी ख्वाहिशात के मुताबिक उसको डिस्ट्रीब्यूट कर सके. ठीक है ना? तकसीम, हाँ, डिस्ट्रीब्यूट, तकसीम कर सके. तो अब मैं नौशाद भाई को कहूँगा, वरना तो सारा टाइम इसी में निकल जाएगा, to go further ahead and explain what's involved in the will making process and how it's done.
Sure. Well, first of all, a will needs to be in writing. Any paper can be used, but normally solicitors will use paper which is appropriate in the circumstances. So the process of will writing is usually you take instructions from the individual who wants to make a will. Very important, because you need to find out what is going to go in the will. In terms of making a will, also you need to think about appointing what are called executors.
Yeah.
Now, the executors are people who will be responsible for administration of the estate and dealing with the estate, winding up the estate. The executors, first of all, I would recommend that you think about appointing at least 2 executors.
Right.
But it is a good idea to appoint 2 executors and also 1 in substitute.
Yeah.
Just in case
Yeah.
the main executors have either died or they are incapable or unable for whatever reason.
Yeah.
To take on the job of the executorship and to distribute the estate. So the executors must be, first of all, over the age of 18, and they must be of sound mind. Mm-hmm. You must choose your executors wisely, because you must have confidence in your executors to make sure that they are going to do what you've said in your will. So they will be the people who will be carrying out your wishes that you have expressed in your will. So appointment of executors, if you are someone who has got children under the age of 18, then it is usually that you can appoint guardians or guardianship in your will. And
what do you mean by that?
Guardianship is a legal guardian who will take care of the children.
Oh, okay.
In case something happens to both the parents, or both the parents are unable to look after the children who are under the age of 18.
Correct.
So it is a good idea to include in your will a guardianship provision whereby you can appoint family members or friends or somebody that you trust, that you want to look after your children.
Yeah.
That's a different topic, guardianship. It's
Yes.
quite a complex one. I'm not really going to go into it in
Sure.
too much detail here. Then, of course, you have to have what are you going to devise? How are you going to devise your estate? So who are you going to leave the estate to? Now, in terms of English law, the individual who's making a will has got the complete testamentary freedom to leave the estate, his estate, to whoever they want to. So they can choose. They can leave family members out, they can leave a wife out, they can leave a husband out. Not usually recommended, but it is something that you can do according to English law. In terms of
તમે ગુજરાતીમાં એમ કહેવામાં આવે છે કે તમે આમ કહેશો કે તમે you can leave husband and wife, તમે તો ઘરમાં ઝઘડા કરાવી નાખશો.
Absolutely. But it's a principle of English law.
Okay. Yeah, you are stating the facts
Yes,
as they are.
yes. So if you want to leave family members out, which is not a good idea, because it causes arguments and
Yes.
tension and family friction afterwards. So the principle is you can leave the property to whoever you want to. Now Sharia is quite different.
Yes, of course.
Because as we all know that the Sharia has a prescription of legacies that you've got to leave behind for your relatives.
Yeah.
So if you have a wife, she's entitled to a 12.5% of the estate.
Yeah.
If you have parents who are alive, then they are entitled to a certain percentage of the estate, and then of course your children, they would be entitled to the balance of the estate. It is a difficult thing to make a Sharia will, although it is possible to include the prescribed percentages for family members within a will. A will needs to be complied with the Wills Act of 1837 and the rules, because that's the law of inheritance of UK, of England. So in terms of if there is a conflict between a Sharia distribution and the English legal position, then English legal position will prevail.
Right.
But it is important to state that in terms of anybody who wants to make a will which comprises of the distribution in accordance with the Sharia rules, then yes, it is possible to do that. But there are some ramifications of doing that, which can be difficult in a particular situation. One of them is that if you make a will according to Sharia principles, you have to leave proportions of your estate to various people.
Correct.
So, for example, if the husband dies and the wife is in the property, she has to live somewhere. The ramification might be that if the distribution happens and the children say to the executors, we want our share in the estate, then the property has to be sold, and the wife may not have a roof over her head, which could be a very important ramification.
Is this according to the English law or Sharia law?
Well, if you make a will
because
and you stipulate...
because sorry to interrupt, because as far as my knowledge goes, and I think you have discussed this in great detail with Ali Raza Bojani, who tells me that he did a program with you, and as you know, I've involved several times Ali Raza Bojani, who's a sheikh in Loughborough.
Yes,
and
I know him very well.
Yeah, so do I. I contacted Sheikh Nuru as well in this, and another friend of mine. So I cannot emphasize, my viewers, enough that will is so important, that in chapter 4 of the Holy Quran, two full surahs, 11 and 12, are dedicated to the distribution of will.
Yes.
Two full. And may Allah forgive me, it's not easy to interpret it. You have to study it properly, and that is why we will not go into the nitty-gritty of it, because you see, Sharia law provides the benefit, if I can use that term, after a person has deceased, to each and every relative, and sometimes the relative might be quite a few, because it provides something for parents, brothers and sisters, children, wife, so on and so forth. And this is the reason we can't go into nitty-gritty of it, because it will need a whole program to explain to our viewers regarding that. So I'll let Naushad Bhai carry on, because it emphasizes on the fact that, you know, your immediate relatives, meaning your wife, your daughters or sons, your parents, they get immediate benefit, and there are various portions, so on and so forth. So we will talk about it later on if we have time. But I'll sorry to interrupt, I'll let you continue.
Okay. Well, we're talking about the process of making the will. So once instructions have been taken, then if the person who makes the will, he is called a testator. If it's a female, then she's called a testatrix. So, and I'll refer to the person as testator now, the person who's making the will. So they've come into the office, they've provided me with some instructions. I've asked them some questions, I've answered some questions if they've got any questions. Then a draft is produced, first draft, and then I would send the draft to the testator and make sure that, you know, they're happy with it. If there are any changes to be made, then certainly changes can be made. In terms of the distribution of the assets, as I've said, English law seems to be saying that a testator can leave the assets to whoever they want to, and therefore I will be seeking instructions from the testator. He will be saying to me that I want to leave X amount percentage of my property to my wife, Y amount to my children, etc. And so once the instructions have been obtained, a draft is prepared, sent out to the individual. They can make any changes or recommend any changes that need to be made. They need to be happy that whatever's been said in the document complies with their directions or wishes. Once it's been prepared and they're happy, I would then draw up the final document, and then it is signed by the individual testator or testatrix in the presence of two witnesses.
Right. Okay.
That is a requirement in law.
Right. Okay, so that's great. Thank you very much. I again say that will making is very, very important, and I quote a reference that our Holy Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, book 13, number 3987 is the reference that our Holy Prophet said, it is the duty of a Muslim who has something which is to be given as a bequest, not to have it for 2 nights without having his will written down.
Yes, you must not pass 2 nights without having a will.
Even 2 nights you can't pass by without a will. It's so important, and this is not me saying, this is from our Holy Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, and I've given the reference, book number 13, number 3987, and I can even tell you where did I get this from. I got this from yesterday or this morning from Sheikh Nuru, who is the resident alim at Birmingham Jamaat, and the whole world knows Sheikh Nuru. So it is so important. He wouldn't convey something to me which hasn't got a good foundation, which is not genuine. A lot of us, this is human nature. We say, okay, I'll do it tomorrow, or I'll do it next week, or I'll do it next week, or I'll do it next month. Do we know that the next will come? Do we know whether we will be alive? Did we know this coronavirus is coming so far? People have lost their sleep because of coronavirus. It's such a deadly disease. God has given us the opportunity. So please, 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 I cannot emphasize enough, make the best use of this opportunity. We are duty bound. In Urdu they say कि ये हमारा फ़र्ज़ है कि हम अपनी will बनाएं, ये हम पर फ़र्ज़ लागू होता है. गुजराती में આપણે કહેશું કે આ આપણી ફરજિયાત છે કે આપણી વેલ થાય. હું પોતે જે છે એ નૌશાદભાઈ જે છે એ કેટલા ખબર નહીં 6-7 વર્ષ થઈ ગયા હશે આપણે આવશું એની તરફ. And we don't want to go into the personal details કે એક વખત તમે will તો કરી નાખો, basic will, and then if you want to make changes, I'll ask Naushad Bhai as to what do you do if you want to make a change to the will.
There are two ways of making changes to a will. You either make a new one,
okay,
all right, but if there are some very minor changes that need to be made, so for example, if you've appointed Mr. X,
yeah,
and you want to appoint Mr. Z instead of Mr. X, then you make a codicil. Codicil has the same procedure, but it is a supplemental document.
Okay.
So you make a codicil and you make a change in your will. But codicils are only for minor changes. If you want to review your will and there are major changes, then I would suggest you make a new will, which you can always do as long as you're still here alive in the world.
Okay, excellent. So once the will is made and a person is satisfied that he's done a will, what does he do? Where does he keep the will? Does he store it at a certain place? And what happens after that?
Okay, well, that is quite simple. Once you've made the will, you've actually got the complete document. You can either store it where you store your documents safely at home, or alternatively, you can store the will with the Central Probate District Office. The Central Probate Office is the High Court in London, and there is a document called it's a leaflet called PA7.
Okay.
And if you want to obtain that document, you can Google it and you'll be able to get that document, and it's got the instructions on it. It costs a one-off fee of £20 to store the will, and that is just a one-off fee. So if the husband and wife have made a will and they want to store both wills with the probate office, they can send that off to the probate office, and it costs £20.
Okay, excellent. अब जुल्फ़िकार भाई आप इसको जो है उर्दू में ट्रांसलेट कर सकेंगे जो नौशाद भाई ने कहा?
सारी बातों को
हैं, जितना हो सके उतना. ये जो कि विल एक मरतबा बन जाती इंसान की, इंसान ने अपनी जो है वो रिक्वेस्ट कर दी अकॉर्डिंग टू द इंग्लिश लॉ एंड अकॉर्डिंग टू शरिया लॉ, अपनी मर्ज़ी के मुताबिक कि भाई इतना मेरी बीवी को मिले, ये मेरे बच्चों को मिले, ये और किसी को देना हो तो शरिया लॉ में जो है 1/3 जो है इजाज़त है मेरे ख़्याल से कि अपनी मर्ज़ी से वो किसी को देना चाहे तो वो पहला 1/3 उनको दे सकता है. तो लेकिन एक मरतबा ये सारा प्रोसेस हो जाए, और इसको मैंने इंग्लिश में कितनी मरतबा कहा कि ये बहुत ज़रूरी है कि आप लोग अपनी विल स्टार्ट कर दे ये प्रोसेस करने का. इसमें कोई लंबा चौड़ा ख़र्चा नहीं आता. आप कांटेक्ट करें, अगर आपको ज़्यादा, नौशाद भाई को कांटेक्ट करें, अगर आपको ज़्यादा पैसे लगते हैं तो मैं 5-10 पाउंड कम करवा दूंगा उनसे. तो एक मरतबा ये डॉक्यूमेंट बन जाए तो उसको कम से कम आप सुकून से सो सकते हैं कि हाँ मेरी विल बन गई. इतने लोगों का हार्ट फेल हो जाता है, रात को पता नहीं चलता, सुबह उठ नहीं सकते.
रसूल की हिदायत है कि 2 रातों से ज़्यादा आप बिना वसीयत के नहीं.
बेशक मैंने अभी इंग्लिश में ये कहा.
इसमें बच्चों की सरपरस्ती का भी बहुत बड़ा एक मसला होता है. तो आपके बच्चे हैं और बच्चे आपके बालिग नहीं है, इंग्लिश लॉ के मुताबिक बालिग नहीं है,
बिल्कुल
18 से नीचे के हैं, तो अगर जो आपकी मौत हो जाती है तो उसके बाद उनकी सरपरस्ती कौन करेगा?
बहुत ज़रूरी है.
और आज के जैसे हालात है, जैसे उन्होंने बताया एग्जीक्यूटर अपॉइंट करने होते हैं, तो एग्जीक्यूटर आपके वो نمائندے ہوتے ہیں جو اگرچہ آپ کی موت ہو جائے
جی
تو آپ کے بیاف پہ آپ کی ملکیت یا جائیداد یا جو بھی کچھ چیزیں ہے اس کو آپ اپنی طریقے سے تقسیم کر سکو.
بے شک.
اب مان لو جیسے کرنٹ حالات ہماری ہے جس میں ہر کوئی ولنریبل ہے, ہر کوئی کی جان کو, ہر کسی کی صحت کو خطرہ ہے.
بے شک.
اس سچویشن کے اندر جیسے نارمل ہدایت ہوتی ہے کہ 2 ایگزیکٹور آپ اپوائنٹ کریں,
جی
تو ضروری ہے کہ ایسی حالات میں 2 سے زیادہ 3 کم از کم آپ ایگزیکٹور کو اپوائنٹ کریں,
تاکہ اگر ایک کا انتقال ہو جائے تو دوسرا لے
کسی کو پتہ نہیں ہے کہ کیسے حالات ہوگے, کس کی صحت کیسے ہوگی. ناٹ جسٹ کسی کی موت ہو جائے, پر ممکن ہے جیسے کوئی آئسولیشن میں ہو.
جی جی جی. تو
آج کی جس قسم کی کرنٹ سچویشن ہے, اگر جو کوئی بندہ اسپتال میں ہے یا آئسولیشن میں ہے, تو اس لیے ضروری ہے آپ کے 2 سے زیادہ ایگزیکٹور ہو.
جی.
اور جہاں تک آپ کو اس کو حفاظت کرنے کا سوال ہے, انہوں نے بتایا کہ پروبیٹ آفس کو آپ جو آپ کا ڈاکیومنٹ ہے جو فائنل آپ کا دستاویز بن جاتا ہے وہاں پر آپ محفوظ رکھ سکتے ہو, وہاں پر اس کی حفاظت ہو سکتی ہے.
بالکل.
اور خدا نخواستہ اگر جب کبھی آپ کی موت ہوتی ہے تو وہاں سے وہ ریٹریو کر کے کیا جا سکتا ہے.
بے شک.
اتنا ضروری ہے یہ کرنا, بیکاز اگر جو ایسے نہ ہو اور جائیداد آپ کی 2.5 لاکھ پاؤنڈ سے زیادہ کی ہے تو پھر اس کو شریعہ لاء میں آپ نے اگر جو تقسیم کرنا چاہو بھی تو بنا ول کے وہ نہیں ہو پائے گا.
بے شک.
ٹھیک ہے. اور ہر قسم کی ول کے ساتھ لیٹر آف وشز جیسے ہوتا ہے تو اس میں یہ کہ چھوٹی سے چھوٹی تاکید ہوتی ہے. اکثر ہم نے دیکھا ہوگا کہ جس کی موت ہو جاتی ہے وہ کہتے ہیں کہ میری گھڑی, میری انگوٹھی بڑے بیٹے کو ملے, تو یہ وشز کا جو لیٹر ہوتا ہے وہ بھی اس میں انکلوڈ کیا جا سکتا ہے.
ٹھیک.
اور اکارڈنگ ٹو شریعہ لاء اس میں آپ اپنا خود کا حصہ رکھنا چاہتے ہو کہ آپ کی نمازوں کے لیے یا جو گزر آپ کے روزے مس ہو گئے اس کا پروویژن ہے. تو یہ سارا پروویژن تبھی ہو پائے گا اگر جو آپ نے اپنی وصیت بالکل مطلب باریکی سے بنائی ہے, اس کو دوبارہ سے غور کرا ہے.
بے شک. بے شک.
نہ صرف بنانا ضروری ہے آپ کو اپنی ول, پر اپنی وصیت کو بار بار ریویو کرنا بھی ضروری ہے.
بے شک.
جس قسم کے آپ کے حالات ہے, جس قسم کی سچویشن ہو رہی ہے, بہت ضروری ہوتا ہے کہ آپ اپنی جو وصیت ہے اس کو باری باری ریویو کریں. جو چھوٹی موٹی اس میں چینجز ہوتے ہیں تو جیسا انہوں نے بتایا کوڈیسل کر کے وہ کرا جا سکتا ہے.
اور سوری ذوالفقار بھائی, ایسا بھی ہوتا ہے نا کہ بہت سے لوگوں کی زندگی میں میجر چینجز آتے ہیں تو وہ تو اس وقت ان کو جو ہے ول کو آلٹر کرنا یا کوڈیسل بنا کر ول کے ساتھ اٹیچ کرنا ضروری ہو جاتا ہے.
بہت ضروری ہوتا ہے.
اور جن لوگوں کی زندگی میں چینجز نہیں ہیں اگر وہ ویسے ہی رہنے دینا چاہتا ہے تو دیٹس فائن ایز ویل.
اور بہت ساری چیزیں ایسی ہوتی ہیں جو نارمل سچویشن میں آپ اپنی ملکیت نہیں سمجھتے.
بے شک.
پر وہ آگے جا کے اس کی ویلیو ہوتی ہے. جیسے نوشاد بھائی نے بھی حال ہی میں ایک کتاب لکھی ہے, ٹھیک ہے, اور وہ کتاب بہت اچھی طرح سے آن لائن بک رہی ہے اور اس کا کافی سیل ہے, کافی ڈیمانڈ ہے.
نوشاد بھائی کی کتاب دکھا دیتے ہیں نا ویورز کو. یہ نوشاد بھائی کی کتاب ہے جو نوشاد بھائی نے لکھی ہے, دا پرائس آف آنر. نوشاد بھائی نے یہ انگریزی نام استعمال کیا ہے, نیش رام جی. اب
یہ جو ہے اس کی جو مینیوسکرپٹ ہے, اس کا جو آگے ایسٹ ہے, اب آج سے 2 سال پہلے یہ چیز ان کی ملکیت میں شامل نہیں تھی.
بے شک.
پر ابھی کیونکہ انہوں نے کتاب لکھی ہے, ماشاءاللہ ان کے 2 بچے, تو یہ ساری چیزیں اس میں تقسیم ہونی ہے.
بے شک.
اگر جو ہوتا ہے تو روز بروز جیسے آپ کی زندگی آگے چلتے جاتی ہے, جو امیگریٹ کر جاتے ہیں بچے فورن کہیں چلے گئے, آپ نے ایک اور مکان لے لیا, کرائے پہ دے دیا, ڈیوائڈ کر دیا, یہ ساری چیز آپ کو ریویو کرنی ہوتی ہے اور اپنی وصیت کے ڈاکیومنٹ میں انکلوڈ کروانی ہوتی ہے.
بے شک.
کیونکہ اگر جو آپ کی وصیت ہے بھی لیکن کرنٹ نہیں ہے, ریویوڈ نہیں ہے, تو ممکن ہے آپ کی جو مرضی ہے اس طرح کا وہ نہیں ہوگا. ایک ہمارا ڈومین ہے جس کو وشز آف دا ول کر کے ہم نے بنایا ہوا ہے,
ٹھیک ہے,
وہ اسی وجہ سے بنایا ہوا ہے تاکہ آپ کی جو مرضی ہے وہ آپ کی زندگی میں اور آپ کی موت ہو جانے کے بعد بھی جس طرح آپ نے چاہا ہے اسی طریقے سے تقسیم کی جائے.
بے شک. بہت اچھی طرح آپ نے ایکسپلین کیا ذوالفقار بھائی, تھینک یو ویری مچ. بہت بہت شکریہ آپ کا. اس سے یہ ہو رہا ہے کہ ہمارے انگریزی کے ویورز جو ہے اس کو نوشاد بھائی اچھی طرح ایکسپلین کر رہے ہیں ول کے بارے میں, اور آپ ترجمہ کر رہے ہیں, اور میں بھی جو اپنی ٹوٹی پھوٹی گجراتی, اردو, انگلش میں تھوڑا ایڈ کرتا جا رہا ہوں.
گجراتی میں بھی آپ چاہیں گے تو I'll be able to do that.
Thank you.
Can I just add something which I may not have mentioned?
Sure.
A person who makes a will must be over the age of 18,
Yeah.
and they must have mental capacity.
Yeah.
If they're suffering from, say, for example, dementia because of their advanced age,
Yeah.
then unfortunately they would not be able to make a will because they no longer have mental capacity.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thank you for that. So we will proceed further. Now we will come to the second topic related with the wills, and we can always come back to the wills later in the program if time permits. Naushad bhai, will you tell us that what is a lasting power of attorney?
A lasting power of attorney is a legal document, just like a will. The difference, if I can just
Yes, sure.
explain between the lasting power of attorney and a will. When a person makes a will, the will only operate on the death of the person.
Correct.
A lasting power of attorney will only operate whilst the person is alive.
Okay.
So if I want to make a lasting power of attorney, it's a legal document. The document is made when I'm over the age of 18. I've got capacity, still mental capacity, and I can make the document. There are two sorts of legal documents which are they deal with. One of them deals with property and finance matters. The other one deals with the health and welfare of the individual.
Yeah.
So if the document, first of all, the reason why it's called a lasting power of attorney, under the Mental Capacity Act of 2005, the legal position was changed. Before you could make what was called an enduring power of attorney, but the enduring power of attorney were revoked, and the law now provides that if you want to make a power of attorney, you just either make a general power or you make a lasting power of attorney. The lasting power of attorney, once you have made that, and subsequently if you do lose your mental capacity or you're not able to manage your own affairs because of either physical or mental infirmity, then the lasting power of attorney will survive the incapacity, and the person that you have given the power to. So let's assume that you're making a lasting power of attorney. You will be called the donor. You're appointing me as your attorney. I will be called the donee, and I will be your attorney.
Yeah.
So it depends on the type of power that you have made. If you are only making a lasting power of attorney that deals with your finance and property matters, then obviously the attorney can only use that power to the extent of the property and finances. Mm-hmm. If you make the other power, which is the health and welfare one, then it is about your care, as to how they will have a say in how you would be cared for. So if a person who has made a power of attorney, a lasting power of attorney, and it's to do with their health and welfare, then if they do go into a home, a residential home, or they go into a hospital, then the attorney can have a say about their care. That's the important quality about a power of attorney, so that it's giving legal power by way of a lasting power of attorney from A to B, for B to have a legal say in their care. Yeah. In terms of the finance and property power of a lasting power of attorney, the quality there is that Mr. X, who's making the power of attorney, he's appointed B as his attorney, then Mr. B has the legal authority to deal with the finance and the property matters under that power of attorney. Now there can be restrictions if the person who's the donor wishes to put restrictions in the lasting power of attorney. That is certainly possible, but usually I find that people will make powers of attorney and they will have absolute confidence in the attorney that they've appointed for them to be dealing with their assets, their property, their finances, or about their well-being and their care, because they obviously will trust that individual. They will have appointed a family member, maybe children, wife, and they can then obviously use that power to make decisions on behalf of the individual. It is really important at this particular moment in time because of social distancing, because of isolation, as you've mentioned, where somebody can be confined to, or they can be in their house for a long period of time. They won't be able to go and do something that they would ordinarily be used to doing.
Correct.
So they might be going shopping, might be going to the bank.
Correct.
They are not able to go to the bank, and somebody needs to look after their finances. So if they've appointed a person under a lasting power of attorney, then that person will be able to go to the bank for them. They'd be able to look after their finances.
Right.
So it is important that that person, the person who is confined in the house or they're isolated, they have given somebody else the legal power to do the things that they would normally do.
Correct. Excellent. Very good. હવે તમે ઝુલ્ફિકાર ભાઈ, તમે ગુજરાતી સરખી સાથે ઇઝીલી બોલો છો, કચ્છી બોલો છો, ઉર્દુ બોલો છો, માશાલ્લાહ તમે બધી લેંગ્વેજીસમાં ફ્લુઅન્ટ છો. તો તમે જે છે એ આપણે નૌશાદભાઈ જે કીધું તમે એને ગુજરાતીમાં થોડુંક ટ્રાન્સલેટ કરશો?
ડેફિનેટલી. લાસ્ટિંગ પાવર ઓફ એટર્ની એક એવું ડોક્યુમેન્ટ હોય જેના અંદર એક પર્સન બીજા કોઈ પર્સનને એ પાવર આપી શકે જે એ પોતે કરી શકે છે.
ઓકે.
હવે ધારો કે હવે એવું સિચ્યુએશન આવે કે આપણે કરતા હોય નોર્મલ દિવસમાં એ નથી કરી શકતા, કે બેંકમાં નથી જઈ શકતા, કે આપણને કોઈ કોન્ટ્રાક્ટ એક્ઝિક્યુટ કરવું છે એ આપણે નથી કરી શકતા, તો આપણા એબ્સેન્સમાં તમને બીજા કોઈને એ પાવર આપવું હોય તો એ તમે જેને પાવર આપો કે એ કરી શકે એને પાવર ઓફ એટર્ની કહેવાય. હવે આ પાવર ઓફ એટર્ની બે અલગ અલગ ટાઈપના હોય. એક એવું હોય જેના અંદર તમે ફક્ત તમારું ફાઇનાન્સ જે હોય કે બેંક જે હોય એને ઓપરેટ કરી શકો.
ઠીક.
ને બીજું હોય એ તમારી પર્સનલ હેલ્થ ને વેલફેરને થાય.
ઠીક.
કે ખુદાના ખાસ્તા ધારો કે એવું સિચ્યુએશન આવી જાય કે તમે તમારી પોતાની કેર દેખભાલ નહીં કરી શકતા હો ને ડૉક્ટરને ડિસિઝન લેવું હોય કે તમારા બિહાફના ઉપર કેવી રીતના કરી શકાય,
ઠીક,
તો એ તમારું થઈ શકાય. ઓલરાઈટ. એ હેલ્થ ને વેલફેર હોય એ તમે ફાઇનાન્શિયલ કોઈને પાવર આપ્યું હોય તો એમાં એ ના કરી શકે અનલેસ એ સ્પેસિફાઈડ ના હોય તો.
સાચી વાત છે.
આજની જેવી સિચ્યુએશન છે જેમાં એલ્ડર લોકો હોય
જી જી
કે જે અબાઉ 60, જેમ ગવર્મેન્ટનું આવ્યું કે તમે 60 વર્ષથી વધારે હો તો તમે સસેપ્ટેબલ છો, તમે વલ્નરેબલ છો, તમને કોરોના વાયરસ હિટ કરે એવી શક્યતા વધારે છે.
ઠીક.
તો જો એવી શક્યતા હોય ને તમે અબાઉ 60 ના હોવ ને તમારા પેરેન્ટ તમારા આજની તારીખમાં બચ્ચા ફોરેન ગયા હોય ફોર એક્ઝામ્પલ, નથી આવી શકતા પાછા, ત્યાં ક્વોરન્ટાઇન થયેલા છે. હવે નોર્મલી જે તમે બેંકમાં જતા હો, જે તમારું કામ કરતા હોય તમે નથી કરી શકતા, તો જરૂરી છે કે તમે પાવર ઓફ એટર્ની એના અંદર તમે બનાવો. પાવર ઓફ એટર્ની જે છે, લાસ્ટિંગ પાવર ઓફ એટર્ની જે એવી રીતના એક્સપ્લેન કર્યું કે પહેલાં અલગ એનું નામ હતું, હવે એનું નામ અલગ છે, પણ પાવર ઓફ એટર્ની વગર બેંકના અંદર તમે ઓપરેટ નથી કરી શકતા. એક કોઈ એલ્ડરલી લેડી હોય, એનું એલ્ડરલી સન હોય, હવે બેંકમાં તમારા પેમેન્ટ હોય કે તમારી એસ્ટેટ હોય કે તમારું પેન્શનના પેમેન્ટ આવે. એક લાઈવ તમને એવું દાખલો આપો, એક કોઈનો કેસ હોય કે જેના અંદર હસબન્ડ ને વાઈફ બહુ ઓલ્ડ હોય, હસબન્ડના પ્રોબેટના પૈસા વાઈફના પાસે આવી જાય, પણ બાય ધ ટાઈમ વાઈફ એ પૈસા એક્સેસ કરી શકે એ પોતે એટલી ફ્રેજાઇલ થઈ ગઈ કે ના જઈ શકે, તો આ બધા પૈસાને ને આ બધી એસ્ટેટનું શું થાય?
સાચી વાત.
તો કોઈના પાસે પાવર ઓફ એટર્ની હોય તો એટલીસ્ટ એને જે ચીજની જરૂર હોય જેના લીધે પોતાની દેખરેખ કરી શકે, જે પૈસાને એક્સેસ કરી શકે, એ કરવા માટે એને પાવર ઓફ એટર્ની હોવી બહુ જરૂરી છે. એ આખું એક પ્રોસિજર છે, લોકો બહુ લાઇટલી લે છે. લાસ્ટિંગ પાવર ઓફ એટર્ની આપણે રોજ સાંભળીએ છીએ, પણ આપણને એમ લાગે કે મને આ ચીજની જરૂર નથી. બિકોઝ નોર્મલી આપણને એમ લાગે મારા સાથે આવું ક્યારે બનવાનું જ નથી કે હું ઇન્કેપેબલ થઈ જાઉં, કે હું લાચાર થઈ જાઉં. ખુદા નહીં કરે કોઈને આવી મજબૂરી આવે. બટ એટ ધ સેમ ટાઈમ લાઈફ ઇઝ ઓલ અબાઉટ ટેકિંગ પ્રિકોશન. ઓફકોર્સ આપણે કોટ પહેરીએ છીએ, જેકેટ પહેરીએ છીએ, શૂઝ પહેરીએ છીએ, ઓનલી ટુ પ્રોટેક્ટ અવરસેલ્ફ. જેવી રીતના આપણે નોર્મલ આપણું પ્રોટેક્શન લઈએ છીએ કોઈ રીતે, હમણાં તમે ડિટેલમાં એક્સપ્લેન કર્યું કેવી રીતે આપણને આપણા હાથ ધોવા જોઈએ. સાચી વાત છે. દેટ ઇઝ ઓલ્સો પ્રિકોશન. જરૂરી નથી કે મારા હાથમાં હમણાં વાયરસ છે. સાચી વાત. બટ બિકોઝ આઈ વોન્ટ ટુ પ્રોટેક્ટ માય સેલ્ફ. સાચી વાત. આપણે હાથ એક પર્ટિક્યુલર ફેશનમાં વોશ કરીએ છીએ. That's why it is very important કે આપણે લાસ્ટિંગ પાવર ઓફ એટર્ની, વિલ્સ, પ્રોબેટનું તમને ટાઈમ હોય તો પ્રોબેટ જે બતાવશે નૌશાદભાઈ કેવી રીતના થાય, આ બધી ચીજો બહુ જરૂરી છે તમારી જિંદગી જીવવા માટે. ને તમારા પછી તમારા જે પાછળ તમારા લવ્ડ વન્સ હોય એને તમે પ્રોપરલી દેખરેખ કરી શકો, એના માટે બહુ જરૂરી છે. સાચી વાત છે. સાચી વાત. થેન્ક યુ સો મચ. તમારો આભાર ઝુલ્ફિકારભાઈ, તમે બહુ સારી રીતેથી એક્સપ્લેન કરેલું کہ لاسٹنگ پاور آف اٹارنی શું છે, એની જરૂરત શું કામ છે, so on and so forth. تو اب میں اپنے اردو سمجھنے والوں کے لیے یہ کہوں کہ نوشاد بھائی نے انگلش میں ایکسپلین کیا لاسٹنگ پاور آف اٹارنی، ذوالفقار بھائی نے اس کو ٹرانسلیٹ کیا کافی خوبصورتی سے گجراتی میں. اب میں اس کو تھوڑا سا سمرائز کروں اردو میں کہ بھئی لاسٹنگ پاور آف اٹارنی یہ ہے کہ آپ اگر عمر رسیدہ ہو جاتے ہیں، آپ جس طرح آج کل کے حالات ہے، کل کو آج کوئی نہیں پتہ کہ کل کو کون بیمار ہو جائے گا، کس کو وائرس اٹیک کرے گا. آلریڈی ہم جو ہے بات کرتے ہیں کہ آئسولیشن میں ہو جاؤ، اور اس بیماری کا جو کرونا وائرس جو ہے اس کا کوئی پتہ نہیں ہوتا ہے. لوگ جو ہے ہفتے میں جو ہے انتقال کر جاتے ہیں، اللہ نہ کرے. لیکن اس چیز کو ہم اپ فرنٹ ہمیں ٹیکل کرنا ہے کہ جو ہے اس چیز سے ہم احتیاط کریں. اور آج کا پروگرام جو ہم کر رہے ہیں، جو وکٹری میکس سالیسیٹرز نے اسپانسر کیا ہے، ہمارے یہ دو دوست سالیسیٹرز ہیں، ان کی فارم ہے لیسٹر میں اور دوسری ان کی برانچ ہے لنڈن میں بھی، اور یہ بیچارے آل دا وے فرام لیسٹر آئے ہیں ڈرائیو کر کے، اور ہمیں جو ہے آپ لوگوں کو ایکسپلین کر رہے ہیں کہ بھئی یہ چیزیں کیوں ضروری ہے، ویلز کیوں ضروری ہے. کیا ویلز میں سارا ایکسپلین کیا ابھی نوشاد بھائی نے اور ذوالفقار بھائی نے کہ اس کا کیا پروسیجر کیا ہوتا ہے. تو اس میں کوئی بھی آپ کو مزید انفارمیشن چاہیے ہو تو آپ مجھے کانٹیکٹ کر سکتے ہیں. ان کی فرم کا نام ہے وکٹری میکس، VICTORI، وکٹری میکس سالیسیٹرز. آپ گوگل پر جائیں گے تو آپ کو فون نمبر اس کا مل جائے گا، اور اگر آپ کو نہیں ملے گا تو ابھی میں تھوڑی دیر میں ریپیٹ کرتا ہوں، آپ اس کو لکھ سکتے ہیں. یہ دونوں صاحبان جو ہے پارٹنرز ہیں اس فرم میں. تو آپ کو کسی قسم کی بھی اگر آپ کو مزید انفارمیشن چاہیے ہو، یہ ساری میں نے چیزیں آپ کو شروع میں گنوائی کہ یہ ڈیل کرتے ہیں امیگریشن میں، لیگل ایڈ اسائلم سیکرز کے لیے، ڈومیسٹک وائلنس، ہیومن ٹریفکنگ، فیملی لا، ایمپلائمنٹ لا، اور خاص طور سے ویلز اینڈ پروبیٹ اینڈ لاسٹنگ پاور آف اٹارنی جو ہم آخری 45 منٹ سے ڈسکس کر رہے ہیں. تو آپ جو ہے ان سے کریں. اب میں خود جو ہے ڈائریکٹلی ان سے سوال کرتا ہوں کہ نوشاد بھائی، would you please tell us that a lot of my viewers would say hooray, fantastic, alhamdulillah, Mushtaq bhai has invited two very good solicitors and Victory Max solicitors, a well established firm in Leicester and a branch in London, and they have explained very beautifully wills and probate and lasting power of attorney. So I'll come straight to the point, which I'm sure a lot of my viewers would be thinking that I know because I've been involved with you. Say I'm a newcomer, right? And I am listening to your program and I say, okay, I must contact Naushad Bhai for my will. How much will it cost me, Naushad Bhai? I know it's difficult to say because I presume it depends on your state, how complicated your affairs are, so and so much. Yes. But just explain very briefly a basic cost of a will, and if it's complicated, what the cost would be, so on and so forth, so they don't have to think a lot before they approach you if they decide
decide to make a will.
Sure. Thank you very much for your kind words. I
Pleasure.
really appreciate that. The cost of the will, well, it can vary depending on the complexity, like you've said. Normally, a basic will through a firm of solicitors, we would be able to make a will for a client. If it's an individual one, then it is around £150 plus VAT.
That's good.
If it is a will for, say, a husband and wife,
Yeah.
and other family members, then 2 wills we will usually make for around 250 plus VAT.
That's good.
They're
That's
very,
good.
very competitive.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think your prices are very reasonable, and perhaps I think for a person who has not made a will and who hunts around, it would be difficult for him or her to find a good firm of solicitors which is reliable as well, to get rates better than this. And it is my personal experience that Naushad Bhai has given a very good service to me, and I'm sure he'll give good service to other customers, new customers as well. I have personally used him or to make a will, and his services since the last maybe 6-7 years or something like that.
Yes.
Isn't it?
Yes.
And I've been very happy with him because he has genuinely given a good service, you know. That's the bottom line, and he won't disappoint you. Of course, you know, he does this for a living, so he has to charge you. And where such an important topic like making a will, I think, you know, you shouldn't wait even for a day or 2 days. You must make a will because our religion recommends it, the law of the land recommends it. I don't think personally that anybody, I repeat 3 times, 4 times, should die intestate. So I will now give you the number of Victory Max solicitors. If you have got okay, I think Victory Max solicitors, perhaps, you know, it may be difficult to write down the number and all that. The best thing is to Google it, and you will. You are on Google, aren't you?
Yes, we are. Yes.
Look at the website, and you'll find the numbers. If you have any difficulty, then call me. Call Hidayat TV and ask for me, and they'll give you my number if you don't have it, and I'll give you the details of Victory Max solicitors. And you told me the cost of making a will. Would you be kind enough to tell very quickly, because the time is short, if a person is interested in making a lasting power of attorney, how much would it cost them?
The cost of making lasting powers of attorney varies. I think if you go to London firms, they charge anything
over £1,000.
over £1,000. Yes, about £1,500 is normally the cost. We believe in providing a service which is value for money at Victory Max Solicitors, and normally we can make 2 lasting powers of attorney for around between £450 to £500
Okay.
plus VAT. Remember, the lasting powers of attorney have to be registered with the Office of Public Guardianship.
Okay.
The Office of Public Guardianship is actually based in Birmingham, would you believe?
Okay.
And the registration for each of those lasting power of attorney is £82 at the moment each. £82 each. If you're on benefits or receiving for example, a pension credit from the Department of Works and Pensions, then you will get a full exemption from paying the £82 fee to the Public Guardianship Office. If you earn less than £12,000 a year and you can prove that, then you can pay 50% of the fee, because you
Okay.
can get a partial exemption.
Okay, excellent. So that was explained to us very nicely by Naushad Bhai, Now I will thank my guests for Naushad Bhai and Zulfikar Bhai and Victory Max Solicitors for attending and being guest and sponsoring my program, today's program, and inshallah the aim is to carry on this important subject in my next few programs, and for people to take the heed and ensure that they make a will. That's the basic aim. Now I have been told that my time for this program is coming to an end, so I can only say that in these hard times, please look after yourself. All what we have said is in the best interest of humanity, in your best interest, so please follow it and remember us in your du'as, and do istighfar as much as possible. And it is also recommended by our sheikhs and alims that we must follow the guidelines of the medical industry, of the doctors, consultants, etc. Don't take it lightly. It is very, very important, because if you follow the guidelines, you will be not saving yourself to get infected, but you're saving a lot of other people from getting infected. And with this, I will say that I'm so grateful to Hidayat TV for giving me an opportunity to speak on coronavirus and speak on wills and probate and lasting power of attorney. I am especially grateful to Maulana Adil Sahib, who's the executive here, for giving me this opportunity. And inshallah we will carry on this as much as we can, and keep you enlightened with various things involved with wills, probate and lasting power of attorney. Please remember us in your du'as, and if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact me. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillah rabbil alameen.